purchasing more assets that are allowing us to achieve financial freedom. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaiah, and in this video we're going to talk about those assets we purchased as well as what we've accomplished so far this week. But if you're new to the channel, this is an income generating account where we sell cash secured puts, covered calls, do credit spreads, and collect dividends in order to generate consistent weekly income. But if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like, a comment, and in that comment, I want you to let me know what purchases you made today because I'm going to show you my trade history right here. So my goal for this account is to get it to where my monthly dividend payers cover my entire monthly expenses. That's mortgage, student loans, things like that. And that is about $2,800. My first month of monthly payments was last month, and I received $530. So I am continuously making almost daily purchases on these monthly paying funds in order to reach that $2,800 a month goal. So let's take a look at the purchases we made today. T-SPY, we bought 10 shares at $25.57, which cost us $255. PDI, my all-time favorite fund, we bought 10 shares at $18.20, cost us $181. The two cornerstone funds, CRF and CLM, we purchased 10 shares of each of those, costing us $81 and $84 respectively. So that income or that expense right now we're buying is going to produce income for us in the future. My favorite way to generate income is through selling cash secured puts, which means you're agreeing to buy a stock for a predetermined price. When you do this, you get paid. You get paid to go shopping. I love it. But real quick, always remember, guys, my trades are my opinions, and they should never be taken as financial advice. With that being said, let's take a look at the options we collected. I went in more depth detail earlier in the week, so I just kind of want to do a quick show. Over $300 collected in option income, as well as let's take a look at the dividend income we've collected this week. So far, we've collected 114 from COYY, 143 from TSYY. They pay us every week. Those are our ultra yielders. And TSYY, between option income and weekly dividend payments, even with the share price depreciating, that's still an awesome fund for this account. The 7th is today, T-SPY. That's our first monthly payment from them. We have 100 shares at the time of ex-div, so we're getting $30. Now, we just bought 10 shares today, so next month we're going to get an even larger amount. We also have more dividends yet to come this week, which they'll show up here pending Thursday and Friday, and that's ULTY, MSTY, YBIT, and Coney. And with those shares, we're going to be around $700 again for the week. But let's talk now about some of the other purchases I'm going to make. The Premium Generals, that is an exclusive group where I post private educational content, such as how to sell cash secured puts, how to sell covered calls, how to do credit spreads, debit spreads, the strangle method, all sorts of investing strategies, as well as private portfolio updates, how I use margin, any trade I make whenever I'm buying positions or rolling positions, the Premium Generals know first. On top of that, they get to be in every single video. So if you want to see your face, join us. It's $10 for the month. There's almost 100 videos in there, and by the time you're watching this, there probably will be 100. I post in there 4 to 6 times a week. So come check it out. We'd love to have you. And with that being said, let's get back into that video. Quick, I did want to call out the account did hit an all-time high today. $78,392. That's amazing. Started this account here in January of 2025 with $25,000. November, December, I started doing YouTube, and I had about $40,000 in the account. Now in 2026, we have $77,000 in the account, and it's only going to continue to grow. I expect us to be well over $100,000 by the end of the year. But I always try to preface that it does not matter to me, the account value, as long as I'm able to purchase assets that will set me up for the long-term future. So right now, as you can see, I have a ton of option contracts open. I roll these positions every week. When they're coming to expiration, I roll them and collect more premium, more income in order to continue to grow the account. And then with that income, I invested into dividend players such as, at first, the high ultra yielders like TSYY and COYY. Once we hit our share goal totals, I started taking the income from both option selling and the high income yielders to pay our monthly payers. The goal has always been to get it to where my monthly payers can cover the entire monthly expenses, but I've grown accounts before, and I always focus high income up front to get the accounts where it's large enough. Now, we're still small, like I said, 77,000, 78,000. But we're big enough where we can start purchasing those monthly dividend payers and not be hurting too much. So monthly dividend payers, we have QILD. I only have 100 shares of them. I'm not making any purchases on them in the near future, but I will. ORC, I have 400 shares. I want to get that to 500 shares, but I really don't want to make purchases around the 750. I want my purchases closer to the 723. The Cornerstone funds, I want 3,000 shares of each of those. I have 1710 and 1645, so still a long ways to go. PDI, I want to get 1,000 shares. I'm up to 844. I can't believe how fast I am growing that. Once I get that 1,000 shares, then I'm going to find another monthly pair to add to start accumulating amounts. And then T-SPY, we receive our first dividend from it this month. So I thought, you know what? Why don't we take this opportunity to purchase some more shares today? And as I showed my trade history, I purchased those 10 shares at $25.57. Of course, I guess I would have wish I would have waited a little bit. Got them at $25.40, but that's okay. Like I said, $30 will hit the account tonight, and that'll go towards our calculation at the end of the month, where we'll bring all the monthly payouts together and see how much we collected. Like I said, last month was $530, and I am estimating low end $650, high end $700 for our monthly payouts this month. Like I said, we've already gotten our T-SPY one for the month, but by the time we get our PDI, our Cornerstone funds, I'm hoping I've purchased enough to get me close to that $700 for the month, and maybe I haven't yet. I could be overestimating, overguesstimating, but still hopeful. I really want to reach that goal. These are small steps towards our $2,800 per month in monthly payers. And then the next step with the monthly payers is try to get them a little bit more diversity in terms of when they're paying. I'm heavily getting paid the last week of the month. Now, T-SPY is paying the first week of the month. That's good. I would like to add something on the second and the third week of the month, but I want to meet my goals first on PDI before I add these positions. But that is something I am gearing towards in the near future. But with that said, guys, another fantastic day. All I did was shop today. I didn't roll any positions. I didn't even really attempt to do anything. I just made some purchases, sticking with my consistency, including margin. It says I have $129,000 of cash available. So, I'm not going to deploy near that, but I will utilize it when I'm making my purchases in order to stay consistent with my monthly dividend payers. And with that said, guys, I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I really hope you subscribe to the channel. I'd like to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I think we can do it. So with that said, I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.